this one's gotta be real quick, cause people around me are sleeping and all that. I've always loved Mario, but I feel like it lost something. See, when Mario first started out, me and Mo treated it as like an Alice in Wonderland sort of deal. But this was around Donkey Kong Arcade when the Mario brand was created with Super Mario Bros. 1 in 1985. Basically, the idea is Mario and Luigi are normal people in an extraordinary world, and I think that's what suits the Mario Bros. Best. Somewhere along the line, they just started making them do superhuman shit like lifting castles, drawing Bowser, and I think that just cheapens what makes them special, The farthest I'm willing to accept is them being Star-Tron, Them being destined to do great things, that's fire. But that's as far as it should go, Don't make them like inhuman or whatever. So I decided to pinpoint exactly when this happened. It's Super Mario Bros. 1. This one's obvious. I literally said this is where Mario was portrayed at his peak in terms of his contrast with the world around him. Feels kind of weird saying that because it's on some fucking Gen X all that, even though I was born in 2006. No disrespect to Gen X. They got some of the coolest culture, but off topic. Of course, all this applies to the Lost Levels too, because that game's just Super Mario Bros. 1 Whippets. That's literal canon too. They say it's just Super Mario Bros. 1 in an alternate universe if you didn't know. Wow, off topic again. Sorry, I'm regarded. Now Super Mario Bros. 2 for America. We didn't get the real one because they wanted to punish us for Hiroshima. I say the whole game keeps the theme up. Hell, it reinforces it if anything, because yeah, the world's probably the most unusual we've ever gone in Mario, but that's not really coming from Mario himself. He's just normal. Next is Super Mario Bros. 3, and there's definitely a transition starting here, I think. It's mostly because of presentation. By this point, it's common knowledge me and Mo want the game to look like a storybook play thing. Like, don't get me wrong, the Alice in Wonderland feeling is still very strong here, He still isn't treated as a superhuman. He's still just a guy. It's weakened by the fact that it's framed like a stage play, but it's still there. Then we go to Super Mario World, and now that I think about it, this is actually a pretty interesting thematic shift because by this point, Mario is familiar enough with the land to be going on vacations with Peach. So by this point, he basically isn't an outsider anymore. Even the level design kind of reflects this, The levels from Super Mario Bros. 1, even up to Super Mario Bros. 3, feel more like obstacle courses. Mario and Luigi just have to survive. Meanwhile, Super Mario World has a lot more open levels though, Now there's collectibles, secret exits that lead to new paths. Feels like the breaking point where Mario and Luigi become masters and they're familiar enough with the world to scope it out to the fullest instead of just survive. They're even able to pretty much fully command a dinosaur species that's trapped native to this weird world. It's actually a pretty fucking raw narrative progressive arc, and if it stopped here, I think I would have been fine if this is the limit. The wrestlers are using the world to their advantage, but they're still just guys. But it didn't stop here, The cutscenes, they show Mario doing some blatantly superhuman shit, like lifting up a castle, kicking it, stomping another castle to pieces. Nothing like this happens in the rest of the game. But I'd say this probably marks the point of no return, with Mario and Luigi becoming more myth than human. Dang it, Yoshi's on the fire game, but it basically cemented the idea in canon that Mario's a Mushroom Kingdom native and always lived here. Granted, shit like him being from Brooklyn and all that, it's a superior backstory, but it was only alluded to in like the non-canon cartoons and stuff, so it's all like kinda shaky ground. But there was still a general sense that Mario and Luigi are outsiders that it becomes hard to argue for that after Yoshi's Island. So the feeling of all Mario was based on Mario and Luigi being normal people in an unfamiliar world. Then Yoshi's Island killed the unfamiliar world part. And the next big Mario game, Super Mario 64, killed the normal guy part, cause Mario's now doing the same shit from this game on without even powers, They already mentioned he can pick up Bowser, and that's core to the game too, not just a cutscene that you could say, oh, it's a joke. But he can also do like triple jumps, long jumps now. He doesn't even die instantly to lava. He can survive that shit. At this point, it's hard to buy him being a normal guy anymore. That's how it stay, Mario's always lived here and he just does crazy shit, and The new games are fire. Mario still got aura. I didn't even sort of understand what happened, you know. Maybe Miyamoto always wanted it like this, or maybe it was just a natural consequence of, you know, increasing technology, demanding more impressive games, and by extension Mario doing more impressive things. You know, and I don't even hate every part of the transition. Like, there are parts of the Yoshi's Island backstory that I like, and including my own personal headcanon. But at a time when Mario felt like an outsider, you know, it just hit different. You know, it felt special in a way no amount of superhuman Mario feats could. I miss it.